Fortress Besieged was written by Qian Zhongshu, a well-known Chinese writer and scholar. The novel was first published in 1947, and it remains one of the most respected works in modern Chinese literature. The story is set in the 1930s, a time when China was undergoing major changes, struggling with internal challenges and external threats. The title comes from an old saying, "Marriage is like a fortress besieged. Those outside want to get in, and those inside want to get out." This saying is at the heart of the book, as it explores human relationships, ambitions, and disappointments. The story revolves around Fang Hongjian, a young man from a wealthy family. Fang is intelligent and charming on the surface, but he is also lazy, indecisive, and full of flaws. He is sent to Europe to study, but instead of working hard and earning a real degree, he spends his time aimlessly traveling and enjoying a carefree life. In the end, he buys a fake diploma from a non-existent university, thinking it will be enough to impress people back home. Fang's decision sets the tone for his life. He often looks for shortcuts, avoiding real effort and responsibility. When Fang returns to China, he is greeted with high expectations. His family and friends believe he is well-educated and ready for success. However, Fang quickly discovers that life is not as simple as he imagined. He struggles to find a good job, partly because of his own lack of skills, and partly because of the competitive and corrupt society around him. Fang feels like a failure, but instead of working to improve himself, he begins to blame others for his problems. In his personal life, Fang is equally lost. Early in the story, he meets Miss Su, a modern and confident woman who is very different from him. Miss Su is smart, capable, and independent, and she is not afraid to speak her mind. Fang is drawn to her at first, but his insecurities and arrogance ruin their relationship. He tries to act superior to her, and she quickly grows tired of his immaturity. Their relationship ends with bitterness, leaving Fang feeling rejected and humiliated. This failure marks the beginning of his long struggle with love and marriage. Later, Fang meets Sun Rujia, a quiet and traditional woman who seems to be the opposite of Miss Su. Rujia is kind, gentle, and loyal, but she is also inexperienced and shy. Fang sees her as someone he can control, and they eventually get married. At first, Fang hopes that marriage will solve his problems and bring him happiness. However, it doesn't take long for cracks to appear in their relationship. Fang and Rujia have very different personalities and expectations. Fang is selfish and impatient, while Rujia is passive and unable to express her feelings. Their lack of communication and understanding leads to constant arguments. Fang begins to feel trapped in his marriage, just like someone trapped inside a fortress. He blames Rujia for his unhappiness, accusing her of being boring and unhelpful. Rujia, on the other hand, feels hurt and abandoned, but she doesn't know how to stand up for herself. Their relationship becomes a cycle of misunderstandings and resentment. Fang dreams of escaping, but he also fears the loneliness and uncertainty of being alone. Rujia, meanwhile, clings to the hope that things will improve, even as her confidence is slowly worn away. While his personal life falls apart, Fang's career is no better. After many failed attempts to find a prestigious job, he ends up working as a teacher at a poorly run college in the countryside. The college is full of eccentric and self-centered people, from petty administrators to gossiping colleagues. Fang quickly realizes that the job is not what he imagined. The students are unmotivated, the working conditions are poor, and the entire place feels like a dead end. Fang feels out of place, but he also lacks the ambition to look for something better. At the college, Fang interacts with a variety of characters who highlight the flaws and absurdities of human behavior. For example, there is Mr. Gu, a fellow teacher who is clever but opportunistic, always looking for ways to gain favor with the school's leadership. Then there is Miss Bao, a young woman who initially seems sweet but turns out to be manipulative and self-serving. These characters represent the broader problems in society, where personal gain often takes priority over integrity and cooperation. Fang criticizes others for their behavior, but he fails to see how his own actions contribute to his unhappiness. As time passes, Fang becomes more disillusioned with his life. His marriage with Rugia continues to deteriorate, and he starts to distance himself from her emotionally. Rugia, in turn, grows more isolated and unhappy, but she doesn't have the strength to leave him. The tension between them reaches a breaking point during a long and uncomfortable journey they take together. The trip, meant to provide some relief from their troubles, only deepens the divide between them. By the end of the story, their relationship is in ruins, and Fang is left feeling more lost than ever. The novel ends without a clear resolution. Fang's life remains full of uncertainty, and he seems unable to break free from his patterns of failure and regret. The story leaves readers with a sense of both frustration and empathy. Fang is not a likable character. He is selfish, arrogant, and often foolish, but he is also deeply human. His struggles reflect the universal challenges of finding happiness, love, and purpose in a complicated world. Qian Zhongshu's writing is full of sharp humor and keen observations about human nature. He uses Fang's story to explore important themes, like the gap between dreams and reality, the complexity of relationships, and the ways people deceive themselves and others. The novel's title, Fortress Besieged, captures the central idea that life often feels like a trap. People long for things they don't have, only to find disappointment when they get them. Whether it's marriage, career success, or social status, the fortress always seems better from the outside. At the same time, the book is also a mirror that helps readers see themselves more clearly. Many of Fang's flaws, his insecurity, his tendency to blame others, and his fear of change, are things we all experience to some degree. The novel reminds us that life's challenges are not just external, they come from within us as well. It shows that true happiness and growth require self-awareness, effort, and the courage to face our weaknesses. Fortress Besieged is a timeless work that speaks to readers across cultures and generations. It provides a vivid picture of Chinese society during a time of great change, but its insights into human nature are universal. Through its humor, depth, and honesty, the novel encourages us to reflect on our own lives and choices. This is why it continues to be loved and studied by people all over the world. It is not just a story about one man's struggles. It is a story about the struggles we all share as we try to make sense of life, love, and ourselves.